Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 9 of the Manufacturer series. Let's get this started. For your first turn, you want to start to brake right before you reach the 3 marker that is on the right. Brake as much as you can in a straight line, then slowly ease off on the brakes as you turn in. Get as close as you can to the apexes, get the car to rotate and slowly start to accelerate. Then use the start of the gravel on the left as your braking marker. Just use some braking so you can get the car to nicely rotate around this turn. Do not hit the red sausage curbs as they will mess you up. Turn in at the 1 sign, all you need to do is just ease off on the throttle. Then slowly bring yourself to the right and brake before you reach the 2 marker that is on the right. This turn is a bit long, so take your time easing off on the brakes and slowly applying the throttle. Use the 2 marker as your braking point. You want to use just a little bit of braking so the car can rotate around this turn. Then for the corkscrew, you want to start to brake right before you reach the 3 marker that is on the right. Brake as much as you can in a straight line. Then you want to turn in just as the curb on the left is about to start. So you want to ease off on the brakes, turn in, and once your car is facing towards this empty area on the other side of the track, you can start to straighten up the car and slowly start to accelerate. Bring yourself to the right and start to ease off on the throttle. Do lots of throttle control as you go through this turn. Bring yourself to the left and brake at the 2 marker. Take your time transitioning over from the brakes to the throttle. Then for the final turn, brake at the 3 marker. Get the car to rotate, so just take your time transitioning over from the brakes to the throttle once again, and you are done with your lap. Let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. For the qualifying session, you only have 5 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time. You're going to spend a good amount of time just trying to get out of the pit stop before you can start fuel burning. Your first lap will be a fuel burning lap. Then you'll go into the pit stop, get a new set of racing soft tires, fuel burn your way out. So your second lap will be another fuel burning lap, but you'll be going a little bit faster, and your third lap will be the flying lap. So take your time fuel burning for this first lap. Eventually you're going to want to make your way over to the pit stop at the end of this first lap. And here's the thing, for some reason it's really hard for your car to make a simple left turn because it takes an eternity just to get your car to its pit box. This will be the same case when you do your pit stops in the actual race itself. So because it takes a million years just to make a simple left turn, you're going to want to speed things up once you make your way out of the pit stop. So there's that, and it's also going to take a while for the car to make its way out of the pit stop. So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer before you regain control of your car. So once you're out of the pit stop, you want to start to speed things up a little bit. So start to fuel burn on 2nd gear in the Cayman GT4. And at some point in between the corkscrew and the final turn, you want to start your qualifying pace. That way you can get the tires warmed up and start your flying lap shortly after. Make sure you have someone that you can get the slipstream out of, so that way it'll help you go a little bit faster, which will help your qualifying times. And with all the fuel burning that has been done, your car will also be pretty light, so your car will be able to accelerate faster and get yourself a faster qualifying time. Just like in the upcoming Nations Cup race, where you start will help determine the tire order you want to go with. So if you're starting in the very front, you can start on racing soft or medium tires. If you're starting in the front or the middle, you can start on racing medium tires. And if you're starting in the back, you can start on racing hard tires. All 3 tire compounds are required to be used in this race, so you want to make sure that you use each one of them at some point. Because of that, you want to make sure that you do 2 pit stops. The other thing is that fuel is an issue, so you will have to refuel at some point. So here's the thing, at least in the Porsche Cayman GT4, the racing soft tires are good for 7 laps, and the racing medium tires can go for 7 laps without too much of an issue. Because of that, you can easily go on racing hard tires for just 1 lap. The duration of these tires, more specifically the racing soft tires, can vary between different cars and driving styles, so I would suggest taking your Group 4 car out for a couple laps here at Laguna Seca. That way you can determine how many laps your car can go on racing soft tires before you need to go for a pit stop. The racing medium tires do last quite a while as well, so you can definitely use them for 7 laps like how I am here, or use them for a bit longer in case your racing soft tires don't last as long. Once again, the goal is to try to use the racing hard tires for only 1 lap. So once again, in my case, racing soft tires last 7 laps, so that is a long stint. Racing medium tires, I can use them for 7 laps as well, so that is another long stint. And racing hard tires are 1 lap for me, so that is a short stint. I say that because when you want to start your second long stint, that is when you want to refuel. So for example, if I want to do the first strategy, I'll start on racing soft tires, and then at my first pit stop, that is when I'm going to refuel. I already did my first long stint with racing soft tires, and I'm about to start my second long stint with the racing medium tires, so I'll be refueling at lap 7. If I were to do strategy 3, I'll start on racing medium tires, then change on over to racing hard tires. Because I'm doing a short stint, I'll still have fuel left over, so I don't have to worry about refueling until I am about to start my racing soft stint, which will be at the end of lap 8. And the same story can be applied for the 4th strategy. Now when it comes to refueling, you'll notice a little diamond on top of the fuel bar. That determines how much fuel you need at minimum to be able to complete the race. So when you refuel, you actually want to fill up the car a bit more beyond that diamond. I say that because in case you start to push the car a little bit more, you want to make sure that you still have enough fuel to be able to complete the race without having to resort to doing some crazy fuel saving at the last couple of turns because you're just about to run out of fuel. So for example here, I'm going to fill up the fuel bar to just a little bit over that diamond, and that's actually going to hurt me because I end up pushing the car a bit too much and I almost ran out of fuel at the very end. So because of that, I had to do some massive fuel saving. So to summarize all of this, your starting position will help determine the tire order that you want to start with. The tire order can also be switched around to suit your needs. You will need to refuel, but make sure that you fill up the car a bit more past that diamond so you can push the car a bit more if needed and still have enough fuel to be able to complete the race. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this guide. I also like to give a massive shout out to all of you for the amazing love and support as we just hit 4,000 subscribers just recently. But anyways, I need to start making the daily race guides now, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.